The Show Must Go On is a spine-chilling song about never giving up. The track is without a doubt one of Queen's greatest achievements. The song came out at a time when Freddie Mercury was incredibly ill, although the band members knew they had to press on and create as much music as possible. I could go on all day about why The Show Must Go On is so amazing, yet I feel as if that would be unfair, as there is another Queen song. A Queen song that has been swept under the rug. A Queen song that has become irrelevant ever since The Show Must Go On was released on the 14th of October 1991. Now, what Queen song could I possibly be talking about? This track is featured on Queen's 1989 album The Miracle and goes by the name of Was It All Worth It? It's obvious at this point that Was It All Worth It was meant to act similarly to The Show Must Go On. Both songs are intended to act as a final chapter of Freddie Mercury's time with Queen, a final statement of sorts. I say this because Was It All Worth It was made in case The Miracle was Freddie Mercury's last album with Queen. Luckily, The Miracle wasn't Freddie Mercury's last album with Queen. Instead, we got Innuendo in 1991. Due to this, Queen felt inclined to release another song that would act as a goodbye for Freddie, and that ended up being The Show Must Go On. If you haven't gathered already, Was It All Worth It has obviously become redundant, as The Show Must Go On is what Was It All Worth It was supposed to be. In fact, many would consider Was It All Worth It a pre-The Show Must Go On. Nevertheless, let's just say, God forbid, Freddie Mercury's last album with Queen was The Miracle. I believe Was It All Worth It would have got a lot more airplay. I say this for two main reasons. Firstly, Was It All Worth It is a damn good track featuring this enigmatic sound, which can be heard at various points throughout the song. We're also reminded of Queen's heavier rock songs as Mercury's astonishing voice kicks in. Similar to The Show Must Go On, Was It All Worth It appears as larger than life. If you couldn't tell, I love this song. Secondly, I stated this earlier, but this is Freddie Mercury's goodbye song, meaning many would be playing this song in memory of him, which is what many do with The Show Must Go On. Okay, I have explained how both songs were made for similar purposes. Because of this, many of you would perhaps assume the songs are similar in meaning. However, this is incorrect. You see, The Show Must Go On and Was It All Worth It are incredibly different lyrically, even though both songs were made for a similar purpose. While The Show Must Go On is about continuing through life and never giving up, Was It All Worth It consists of the band members looking back on the hardships they have faced and the success they have found. As they wonder, was it all worth it? They eventually come to the conclusion that it was all worth it. Something I find interesting is how these tracks reflect how Queen felt at different times in their career. In 1989, Freddie Mercury was ill and no one was sure of how much longer he had left. So Queen made Was It All Worth It, which is considered to be a celebration of Queen. Although in 1991, the three of the band members and Mercury were not as interested in making a celebratory song. Instead, The Show Must Go On reflects the struggle they were facing as a band. They needed to create as much music as humanly possible whilst they still had Freddie Mercury. As you can see, Queen's outlook had changed for the most part. Although I believe we should look at certain lyrics for both songs. This should solidify the points I've made, as this will act as an example of how the two tracks differ in meaning. Firstly, The Show Must Go On. We will be looking at the fourth and fifth lines of the chorus.
My makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on.
Here we're told of the cracks showing as Queen find it harder to continue creating music. Although their smiles still stay on, they shall continue. Now allow us to take a look at the last line of verse 2.
But inside in the dark, I make it to be free.
They're stuck in the dark, a place of negativity, uncertainty, and distress. As Mercury continues to get worse, Queen long to break free from the dark and see the light once again. The next line we will look at has always stood out to me.
My soul is painted like the wings of butterflies.
Wings of butterflies tend to represent innocence, meaning their souls are innocent and they do not deserve the pain which they're experiencing. I assume looking at those lines from The Show Must Go On has given you a greater understanding of the song. If you wish to see more on The Show Must Go On, check out my analysis of the song. Right, was it all worth it? Much like The Show Must Go On, this track is rich in meaning. Firstly, we'll be looking at this line. What is there left for me to do in this life? You get the idea of someone who has done it all. They're unsure of what they should do next. We are then told of their story, Queen's story. Yes, we were vicious. Yes, we could kill. We are told of Queen when they were earlier in their career. They would do anything for the success which they craved. The next line we will be looking at is staying up all night. Was it all worth it? Here, Queen touches on the hardships they faced as they continued to work, although they wonder if it was all worth it. And of course, it was all worth it. I hope looking at different lines from the two tracks has given you a greater understanding of how the tracks differ in meaning. In conclusion, Was It All Worth It and The Show Must Go On are similar in terms of their purpose, yet different in meaning. I know Was It All Worth It became redundant due to The Show Must Go On, although the song deserves a lot more recognition. It's without a doubt one of the best tracks on The Miracle, right up there with the likes of I Want It All and Scandal. I remember hearing Was It All Worth It for the first time and being surprised by how no one mentions the song. But that's Queen for you. Some of their best tracks are for the most part overlooked. Anyways, what do you think of Was It All Worth It and The Show Must Go On? Make sure to tell me in the comments down below. And Happy New Year! It's a new year, a new decade, and it's exciting. Until next time, bye. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider leaving a comment, liking this video if you enjoyed it, and I cannot stress it enough, share this video as that would prove helpful. If you're new, subscribe for more videos like this one, and see ya.